Hello, class! Today we are going to have an extra special lesson on DC Universe Classics, wave number 12. There you go, figure number 6, Mary Batson. And we have DC Comics 75 years of superpower. Here we can see that it comes with a collector button, and it looks like Shazam, or sorry, Captain Marvel and Superman are about to have a go. On the side here includes your collect and connect figure piece. There we can see Mary Batson inside there in her Captain Marvel comic. How come she doesn't get some kind of cool code name? She's still just Mary Batson. At any rate. And if we have a look at the other side, we can see some of the other figures in the set. Eclipso, Spectre, Copperhead, Dr. Midnight, Desaad, Mary Batson, of course, and Iron. And they will have parts, with the exception of this purple dude here, have parts for Darkseid. I'm so looking forward to building that figure. But first we'll have a quick look at the biography for Mary Batson. Sister of Billy Batson, Mary was raised by a wealthy family in Fawcett City, reuniting with Billy years later when her adoptive parents were kidnapped by the villain Eyeback. I guess that's how we say that. To save them, Mary, like her brother, was granted miraculous powers by the word Shazam, thus transforming her into a slightly older, superpowered version of herself with the same abilities as Billy. Following their rescue, Mary continued to use her powers alongside Shazam as defenders of Fawcett City. Now they keep putting Shazam in quote marks, there we go, because I'm pretty sure the dude's name is Captain Marvel, not Shazam, even though a lot of people just call him Shazam. And I think that's to just not confuse the kiddies, because you say Captain Marvel as a DC character and it'll confuse us all and make our heads go explodey. Now, some statistics for this character. First appearance, Captain Marvel, there you go, Adventures number 18, way back in 1942. Her real name is Mary Batson. Her occupation is a student. Her base of operations is Fawcett City. And her special abilities, she has the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the stamina of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury. Now, I don't have the one for Captain Marvel here with me, but I am pretty sure that actually her spelling, or the names that she uses, is actually different than the ones that Captain Marvel used. They are different, and if you look on comic book resources, there's one talking about whether or not she had the wisdom of Sappho or something. It really got to be interesting, but she had to have a different set of gods that she took her powers from, and I can't remember if this mirrors Captain Marvel's or not, but I thought it was different. Well, I mean, we may have to have a look and see, but there you go. So she says Shazam, and then she turns into that. So there's a look at the character, and one more thing. I guess we'll come back to it. We can see we got a piece of Darkseid in there. That's excellent. So what I'll do is I'll open the packaging for this figure, and we'll have a closer look at Mary Batson. And we're back. And we are continuing our look at Mary Batson. So I'll give you a quick 360, view of the figure here. A little back heavy because of her cape. That's okay. So, now there was a variant for this figure. It's basically the exact same mold as far as I can tell, except that the dress or whatever she's wearing is white instead of red. I probably could have gotten either or, but to be honest with you, I just didn't care. And the red one was there, so that's the one I got. But if we have a quick look at this figure, we can look at the mold first, and we'll talk about this arm in a second. But we can see the head, very nice sculpt on that. The face looks pretty good. The hair, lots of detail in there, which is nice. And if we see the cape, and that looks like a dirty spot there. We can see we've got the stitching on here, and the extra little fold here on the side. I've never understood the one shoulder cape. I think I was talking about that when we were talking about Captain Marvel. I just don't understand it. But we can see the wrinkles in her, I guess, the blouse, and then her belt, and the skirt here. As well, the boots, we can see I guess it'd be the stitching that's on the front of the boot. It's really hard to tell because the camera's having a hard time picking up the yellow. And I mean, the rest of her is more or less like a standard female DCUC figure. In terms of the colors, well, it's about what I expect. She's got the brownish hair, the bright red, which will compare to Captain Marvel in a second, but I'm pretty sure it's just the same color red with the big yellow lightning bolt on here. which isn't too bad. And the boots, of course, are yellow. And I don't know how well the camera can pick it up, but the yellow on the boots is tinged red, like it's almost orangey, which is one of the complaints I had about Captain Marvel, which I guess we'll compare in a second. So I guess that just carries through. Yellow boots means that they're not painted properly, and the whole thing kind of goes to hell. But otherwise, not too bad. Again, the face actually does look pretty good. I have to say, I am impressed with how good the face looks on this figure. Now, in terms of articulation, the head looks like it's supposed to move, but every time I try to, it bounces back into the straightforward. And so I'm not really sure what's up with that. I don't know if it's supposed to move. I don't know if I need to reef it a little bit harder and then break it, and then it won't turn at all anymore. I don't know. So I think it's supposed to, but I'm not going to force it. The arms, well, you know, this one's got the full range of motion. It goes up and it goes around. The other one, not so much. Well, we can move it up, but we are not going to be able to rotate it all the way around, obviously, because of the cape. We can rotate her arm. At the bicep, we can bend the elbow, and of course, we can turn the hand at the wrist. She does not have that articulation in the mid-torso that allows her to look up or down. I don't know why she doesn't have that, because a number of the other female figures do, but she can rotate at the waist all the way around. And actually, when she rotates a little bit at the waist, it doesn't look as horrible as it does on some of the other figures where you got this big gap where her waist is. That looks horrible, horrible. The legs, they're not going to move too much. I mean, we can move them a little bit, but because of the dress is in the way, we're not going to get a whole lot of movement there. We can still rotate the leg at the thigh. Oh, we can bend it at the knee, but we also have rotation at the boot, which some figures have and some don't. And of course, we can bend the foot forwards and backwards. Now, I don't know if it's just with the figure that I got, or if it's a design flaw or just the way they're packaged. Most of the female characters have really, really scrawny pencil-like arms, and Mary Batson is no exception. However, if we look at the arm on this one, we can see that there's a major, major bend in the elbow. But there's her elbow joint here. It's just been reefed on, and try as I might, I can't get it to go back into place properly. So it's always got that bend in it. So I don't know if that'll ever be fixed permanently or not, which is mildly annoying. Going back to what we said in the opening, originally her power set was different. The gods that she called upon, and I don't have the list in front of me. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put it along here in the bottom as a text effect, but it did change in like 1985, where they changed it so she had the same ones as Captain Marvel, but at one time they were different. Why? I don't know. I don't know if it was a women empowerment thing, or because she had all female gods as the ones that she called upon when she said Shazam, as opposed to the ones that Billy Batson would call on. But they made it all the same. Whether that's good or bad, to be honest, I don't care, because I don't care about this character that much. In terms of accessories, well, all she really came with is this button, which is a picture of Captain Marvel about to have a go at Superman. And Batman looks a little upset there. I don't know how you can see it. And Wonder Woman is saying something, but who cares. The other thing that Mary Batson does come with, whoa, let's see if we can stand that kind of over there, is the torso of Darkseid. And we can see here we've got the bottom of his tunic here, and we can see that's his torso, and it's about half as big as Mary is, which is going to be excellent. I'm looking forward to putting together Darkseid. I'm really excited for that. And really, the only reason to buy this figure, the camera looks all yellow right now, it's very odd, is to get this. This is the only reason to buy the figure. I really couldn't care less about Mary Batson herself, especially since this one has got a defect on it. And again, I don't know if that is just my figure or if they're all like that, because I think they're all more or less packaged the same, unless I think the arm was supposed to be turned over and they didn't do it, so someone just went and reefed it in there, which is too bad. It's actually incredibly annoying. The figure is very similar to a lot of other female DCUC figures in that, again, pencil-like arms, although she isn't pear-shaped like a lot of other figures are, which is actually kind of nice. She has a much more natural body shape to her, even though her arms I still think are ridiculously slender and tiny. But see, look at that. Her elbow joint is straight, but her arm is pointing out to the side. It's like she's got a case of the rickets or something. I don't know. That probably wasn't very nice. So if I had to give this figure a grade, particularly this one herself, and Mary Marvel, I guess we'll call her, but again, we can't say Marvel because it'll confuse all the kiddies. If we're going to give Mary Marvel a grade here, you know what? This grade gets a figure of C. It's average. It's nothing that great. The fact that we got this defect annoys the hell out of me. I mean, there are some good parts. The detail in the hair and the cape is kind of nice, but it's not terribly easy to stand up. The elbow's all buggered. It's got the paint, to me, imperfections on the boots, which is similar to her brother over here, Captain Marvel.
Shazam!
Oh my god, I thought we ended that months ago. And there, she just fell down, took a dive. The Captain Marvel figure is, I mean, at least decent. But this one just annoys the hell out of me. This one was just totally not worth having at all. I guess if you want to, you know, have the whole Shazam family, we could add Black Adam here and you could have them all standing around. But he's too cool for that, so we'll move him out of the way. Totally disinterested in this figure. Purchased solely for the Build-A-Figure. And there's got to be at least one in every series, right? And some people who like Mary Marvel, Mary Batson, they will like this figure, assuming that the elbow on it isn't shite like mine is. But it's just not my cup of tea. I have no use for the character. The figure itself is defective. I don't know, I'm just not thrilled. Bought it because of this right here. I'm looking forward to that. At any rate, see if I can stand that for a second. That was our look at Mary Batson from DC Universe Classics. Thank you very much. Class is dismissed.